My speech is devoted to the compositionality and non-compositionality question. I start with the things which we would know. Compositionality is a topoi, it's a general common place in semantic and in language understanding, because the leading form of language presentation which we have, it's mathematician language, and Ars Geometrica, it is most popular, especially in scientific discourse. Then whether we have non-compositional language or language tradition or fragments or not is playing no role, because the general orientation is on the compositional languages, and it brings us a lot of troubles, because to reflect the problems related to compositionality, we need to give self a distance from us and our understanding of language and compositionality too. I think that Frege, who grounded this problematic, came too early. Until Richard Montague, I think it wasn't really actual to do in logic and logical semantic in compositionality and non-compositionality. And my attention is about the pragmatic of non-compositionality, and I think it's closely related to technical skills of our ability to learn the ground, the foundational semantic aspects and properties of language. But by working with compositionality, we can came to another question, not about only about the pragmatic. My question today about the language for speaking about compositionality and about the concepts we need for. And I start with the definitions, principles of compositionality, informal, and then in style of Hodges, functional and substitutional definitions. I think it's clear enough, need not to be commented. Or need to be commented. I think it's clear enough. We are headed to bus definitions also, because a lot of authors use this kind of notation for describing compositionality phenomena in semantic. What is to be non-compositional informal? If I try simply to invert the first formulation, the informal formulation, I get to something not very clear, something vague. The meaning of expression is not a function of the meaning of its immediate constituents, or and, of the syntactic rules used to combine them, partly or often the whole. It's not especially clear. There's a lot of violations of principle of compositionality is collected here. All is almost two different cases as compositionality didn't work. Pelletier was first who started to criticize compositionality. And there is possible to introduce two understandings of compositionality, at least two. The first, I call it adaptable compositionality. It means that after a lot of preparation and by using a lot of semantic tools, you can avoid compositionality and bring situation to normal to normality. Normality for traditional semantic approach. If we go back to here, all these kinds of non-compositionality could be transformed by a lot of semantic means to normal way, and all these examples belongs to adaptable non-compositionality. The second one is logical or genuine. So I call it. Meaning of expression cannot be a function of the meaning of its immediate constituents at all, because it has a lot of properties of meaning, self, and of procedures in which we go to the meaning of the denotation from the expression. And the best example is liar and other semantic paradoxes. And as is possible to see, the problem is caused by cyclicity and naturally provoked by self-reference. This is my hypothesis that NC2, this is logical non-compositionality, can play a technical role, pragmatical in our communication, because we get a lot of abilities to recognize right and wrong cases, and then to learn self to use semantic in a good way. Well, two examples of adaptable non-compositionality. The famous work on Lahav about the adjectives and non-compositionality of adjectives. It is adaptable, and the problem is solved, I think. Now, so here is an example, different understanding of good, different meanings, and refinement of good meaning is dependent on substantive. The idea to solve this complication was introduced by Barbara Parti, and idea is to take a complicated function with two arguments. One argument is the adjective self, and other argument is substantive and non-phrase, and then by combination, these two arguments influence on the meaning of the whole. So down in John using knife, functional relations looks in other way as a traditional approach, but it is possible to here the meaning of good is a bush of different application cases of different meanings. It may be absolutely right, the idea of about words about the precedence, because every good application could came from one normal precedent, and then all these precedents are saved in language, and then depending on known, it will be changed the way of application, or the way of looking for meaning of good something. Case 2, indirect context and quotation, Pagan Westertal. Here idea is some sense simplification of intentional logic of Montague, but it is not always the intentional entities. It is simply the entities with another nature. I mean the entities with a cap here. I took the example with the epistemic attitudes 2 times, and it could be resolved in the splitting of intentional relation in 3 different contexts. In each context, the same expression would have new meaning or another meaning or in some relation violating meaning, then it is possible to avoid non-compositionality here. And Pagan Westerdahl called it a switcher. Switcher, a semantic function which switch the interpretation from one context to another context and back. If a function don't switch, it is a keeper of context. It's a good solving. Now I want to try to give a non-functionality definition, informal form now. If we try to do a negation of function definition, we get to something very odd. There is syntactic rule A that for all R it is not equal, and Chabot said to this poet, the meaning of all is dependent of whether the part of structure are not, and it is unclear what is mean at all. Two versions can I here describe. We have all possible mappings from set theoretical point of view in mathematical style. And for example, the extreme case, all meaning are constant. And we can see that in this situation, we need to have two functions. For this function couldn't be equal each other, but one does relate to mapping and other not. And it shows then mathematical this version, the negation of compositionality relation in functional definition has no sense. It's problematic. The version 2 give another explanation more suitable, I think. It's meaning of S isn't the result of the calculation. It means only that R is a partially defined function. It's more suitable and more probable. Eight conditions are possible at all. And if we abridge the in definition this comp and non-comp, compositional, non-compositional, 8 variants, and only number 2, it is a functionality definition. Some definitions, number 1, for example, is triviality case, always exists the mapping in some sort, and we need for normally definition only one mapping, not all. But in the case, one couldn't be excluded because there exists simply. A lot of other relations are impossible, and other are parts of another one. Commentary to this list. Func definition means that exactly one right function, which expresses the composition of meaning. All other are useful, are not useful, and 5 and 7 impossible because all mapping always exists. This previous slide. 5 and 7 impossible because the mapping exists also. And non-compositionality would be taken only from 6 and 8, which compatible with 2 and 4. 6, 8, and 2 and 4. So it is possible. And our result, my idea is in agree with Janssen and Peregrine point of view. Mathematical functional modeling of compositionality is, of course, talk us nothing important, nothing essentially about compositionality relation. The same situation with non-substitutional definition. If we negate this definition, we came simply to the violation of the Leibniz law, and it means that substitutional definition serve as a variance of intentional identity, but it is not the case. Definitely, the intended meaning is different. Intended sense always is a problem, because if we discuss compositionality principle and if we ask whether the application of this principle bring us the intended meaning, and is right, we need to have this intended meaning before we start to calculate the meaning. It's a great problem. Intended sense could be in different way described. Syntactic rules, if they work automatically in some sense, as a black box. And it is possible, maybe, to build well-formed expression, but not always be in the state to interpret them. I think it is possible. Only on the patches of precedence, for example. Somebody used a lot of some expression and used a lot of syntactic rules. I know language bad, for example, English language, and I try to imitate the art of this conjugation of words and application of these rules, but I cannot finally not understood what have I told self, because it's not always go simultaneously. The capacity to do syntactic well-formed expression and to interpret, the knowledge about interpretation. But from what came the new S, is the meaning of S? Yes, from pre-language understanding of meaning, aim to be expressed. So, it is further question, which I have remember. How can I make sure that my thought is adequately expressed in a given language expression? Gil Constantly answered that we have no ready intended sense, but we have ready senses of components and some ideas about what come if we join it to each other. Well, the procedure is so: an outline of meaning and of its logical form together. It is quite undefined entity. We need only logic semantical competence, general. Then we up to define contextually determined information, and came to by using our pragmatic competence, came to the variant of this logical form and these contextual definements. And step 3, it is also a point of verification information, semantical competence 2, and at the end we came to semantic problem. Maybe it is idea of calculation of meaning. What is it? Intended sense, IS. It is anticipation of meaning, and could be given in essentially different way from the way of semantic program. Prototypes of knowledge, of concepts, metaphor, visualizations, and so on. And we can take a pair of object A and A with prediction of its logical form, and Liang or Potts describe how defining of logical form could cost something if it is right make or wrong, because in situation of communication, if we try to express some idea, it could be done in different ways, and the right ways is better as wrong ways, statistically, it could be statistically expressed and then shown as a better way or longer way or a worse way, and it costs something. And then the way from intended sense to semantic program, it is fully pragmatic way. No, they are describing of computational procedural understanding of meaning. It's what a lot of people who agree with such approach. What is computational procedure and what is demanded for this different entities. I cut then the description of Moskovakis' idea. He is a mathematician, a theoretic of finite automata. Machine learning model, it is idea of line reports. And simply, what are premises for the procedural definition of compositionality? We see that adaptable non-compositionality is not of great interest. Logical is genuine but too poor. It's only a simplicity question. Then principle of compositionality in past definition doesn't permit to express the intended sense, and non-compositionality definition fails. Different competence of interpreter need be introduced in this speech, in this discourse. It is a list of things which we need to have a discourse about non-compositionality. And now a lot of formal properties. Conceptualizations, then two kinds of them, robust and with homomorphism in Montague style, and modifying conceptualization, idea of Church and action, identity idea. Then this syntactic procedure of building firstly robust conceptualization and modified. And I want to go to intended sense. A variant of definition of non-compositionality is logically non-compositional if there is no effective semantic problem which expresses the intended sense of A. Then semantic oracle will be used because we have no effective means to separate effective program, not effective program. And the last idea, if we have a modified expression which was firstly paradoxical and then be transformed to normal form, then we can build a pair of expression. One is the source and other is a spoiler. It is a learning case. It is a precedent of non-compositionality. And the isomorphism class of such examples is a learning category. So, for example, liar paradoxes in here, and the last lines. Intended sense of liar can be represented as a pair. The sentence itself, and then this sentence transformed in the non-paradoxal form. We cannot describe how it works, but if subject and agent understand the difference between these two kinds of expression, then we can say this agent understood what is this logical, paradoxical, logical non-compositionality. It is enough for understanding that. No, it's all, this conclusions, lot of conclusion. The interesting cases in the last line, logically non-compositionality is illocutionary provocation to improve our logical semantical competence, and formation of the ability to generate intended sense was expression of any kind on the basis of statistic data about the structure similarity in the learning cases. This is a learning cases, precedents, and statistically statistical grasping of this precedents bring us understanding what is intended sense and what is difference between normal and non-compositional sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I took more time.
But